The election is close and the Prime Minister is on a charm offensive. He was on the front pages of the newspapers today, the Herald Sun, Daily Telegraph, with fiancée Jodie talking about his marriage plans. It's a bit of a puff piece. It included details about a possible outdoor wedding and the role the couple's dog may play on the day. The media blitz comes days after the couple posted this now infamous Valentine's Day video on Instagram. Joining me now for more on this, Sky News contributors Prue MacSween and Gary Hardgrave. Gary, we've had our first interest rate cut in more than 4 years. We're hearing about outdoor weddings and dogs. An election isn't far away.
Yeah, I'm waiting for a close-up shot of the cavoodle corsage. You know it's coming, Rita. Look, anything other than the reality that an interest rate cut is not going to solve the everyday problems of people paying more for everything. You know, they might give you 0.25% reduction in about 10 days or a fortnight after the banks have made tens of millions of dollars. But let's face it, for a lot of everyday Australians, the price of fuel just went up. You know, the price of electricity is going up constantly. The price of electricity keeps increasing at such a rate of knots that nobody actually can keep up with the increasing costs, and it's killing industry. And I think that's the reality. So Albo says, you know, never mind the quality, feel the width. This is a pea under a shell game going on here, and I don't think Australia's going to fall for it. Actually, you know what? Frankly, a lot of people can't afford the kind of, you know, intimate cavoodle corsage wedding that he's talking about. So I think that a lot of people have tuned right out. It's going to take a lot more charm to get a, you know, tick from me, I can assure you.
Well, Prue, what do you make of the charm offensive, the media blitz? Obviously, they've had some sort of focus group data coming in telling them that, well, Jodie is a good look for the PM. The more we see of her, the more we think of him. Is this going to be a boost for the Prime Minister and for the Labor Party coming up? Well, we're going to be weeks away now from an election date.
Well, it's so predictable, you know, wheel out the little missus or the little missus to be, and, you know, all the, you know, the old ladies might think it's so sweet. Look, the Women's Weekly, you know, the media today, nothing's going to save him. This is the point that Gary was making, that we're so focused on just staying alive, basically, economically alive, being able to put food on our table and pay our mortgage or rent, that, you know, he can wheel out as much charm as he likes. And it is offensive. That's what I find when he's talking about and timing his wedding, you know, announcement and the intimate details to soften us up. Oh, well, he's really a nice guy. Well, he may be a nice guy, although I'm yet to appreciate that. But, you know, he's incompetent and he's basically, you know, the nuptials that he's proposing will not work out for him with the Australian public and the Australian vote, I believe. I think it'll be a no at the altar of the voting booth, and let's hope it is.
Oh, yes. We would prefer competence over niceness if we had to pick between the two. Now, company directors and shareholder groups are at war with Australia's $4 trillion superannuation industry over corporate diversity guidelines. The 19 members of the ASX Corporate Governance Council were asked last week to vote on a new set of corporate governance principles, which could have resulted in company directors needing to disclose their sexual orientation and even their religious beliefs. Now, it's the Association of Superannuation Funds of Australia that's pushing for these diversity reforms, but it's good to see business leaders, including the likes of John Wiley, calling for an end to this sort of debate. He said, I personally think it's a gross invasion of people's personal privacy to have to disclose their sexual identity when it comes to eligibility for board positions. Mr. Wiley also told The Australian, what is the relevance to corporate performance and the suitability of sitting on a board? Very good question there. Prue, the ASX Council is now set to drop its push for these diversity reforms for the time being anyway. There's no consensus even amongst those council members. But isn't it good to finally have some corporates taking a stand against this sort of insanity?
Well, they've been so limp and weak up till now, you know, following this whole energy debacle and you know, so scared that they're going to be whipped by the government if they don't support them, even though it's against their principles. In this case, I suppose they feel empowered because Trump's rubbish DEI, and we're seeing also examples with, you know, with Woolworths, what happened to them when they went woke, Bud Light, Disney. All these, you know, profits that are going down the toilet and the branding impacts that it's having. But, you know, I don't care what the sexuality of a board member is, whether they're Indigenous, if they're disabled, you know, all these ridiculous imposts they're wanting them now to impose on them, or proposing to impose on them. I want to know that the people in boards are actually worrying about delivering a profit to shareholders, that they have proper corporate guidance, and they have the expertise to be able to give this guidance. And that's all you worry about if you're either an investor or you're a customer of these companies. And to have the superannuation mob wanting to take a stand, I would say that a lot of the superannuation people they represent are older people who would be horrified to think that this is going to be imposed on board members.